this lecture is in this lecture we will discuss on conversion of isometric view into orthographic view. Now to convert the isometric view into orthographic view, at first we have to go through the isometric view very carefully. The first thing is we have to look into the isometric view, that from which side the observer is looking at the object. So this arrowhead will give you that from which side the observer is looking that object. Okay, so as in this problem the arrowhead is from this side, that means we will get the front view of the object when we will look the object from this side. Okay, then if we look the object from the top, we will get the top view of the object. And if we look the object from the left hand side, we will from the right hand side we will get the right hand side view, and if we look from the left hand side we will get the left hand side view. Now, as if we look from the right hand side, we can see this feature. We can see this feature. Okay, but if we look from the left hand side we cannot see this feature. So we have to decide which side view we will draw. It will be based on that in which side view we are able to see most of the features of that drawing or of that object. Okay, so in this problem if we see from the right hand side, or if we draw the right hand side view, then we can see all the details of the object. We can see all the details of this object, um, as we can see all the details of the object, like this as inclined plane can be seen when we will look from the right hand side. If we look from the left hand side, then we can see only we cannot see this slant, we cannot see this slant portion, rather we have to make it as a hidden part. So better we will draw the right hand side view. Now as this problem uh, is a we generally place this object in the first quadrant. Now you all know that if we place an object in the first quadrant, then we will get the front view of the object above the reference line, top view of the object below the reference line, and right hand side view of the object we will get in the left profile plane, and left hand side view of the object we will get in the right profile plane. Okay, so these we know. Now that means, suppose if we draw the front view over here, then when we look the object from the right hand side, we will get the right hand side view of the object in the left profile plane, and we will get the top view of the object below the reference line. Okay, so to do that, at first the first step is we have to draw the front view. Okay, so the first step will be we will draw the front view, then we will project all the points, and then we will draw the top view, and from the top view and front view we will draw the side view. Okay, okay, so the first step is we will draw the reference line. The first step will be we will draw a reference line. We will draw a reference line. Okay, okay. um, Okay, so now the next step is, so the first step is, as I told you, first step will be we will draw the front view first. Now to draw the front view, when we are looking from this side, we will get the front view. So how the front view will look like? The first step is we will draw this line first. We will draw this line first. Okay, we will draw this line first. This one. Okay, we will draw this line first. Then this one, then this portion, then this portion, and then this portion. So when we look from this side, we are able to see only this portion, right? We are able to see only this portion, and this portion, and this part. These are the portions that we can only see when we are looking from the right hand side. Okay, so we will draw these parts only when we will look from the front. Okay, so this dimension is given as 100. So total dimension is 100. So total dimension is given as 100 mm. So total dimension is given as 100 mm. Okay, so next is this height. The total height is 75 mm. So we will draw 75 mm. So at the top it will be 75 mm. Okay, it is 75 mm. The next is this depth is 15 mm. Okay, another thing is this height is 22 mm. So this height is 22 mm. 22. Okay, 22 mm. Okay. Next is this length is, and this is total length is 100 minus 15. So this total length is 85 mm. So from this point we will draw 85 mm length. 85 mm length. Okay. So next is this vertical height. It is given as 40 mm. Sorry, this total height is given as 75. Okay, so we will draw that 75 mm. And before that, this height is given as 15 mm. So this height is given as 15 mm. This height is 50 mm, 15 mm from this point to this. It is 15 mm. Okay. Now we will connect this point and this point. So if we connect it, okay. So this is completed. Okay. Okay. Next is, now from the top, this slant is at a distance of 16 mm. So from this top, this slant is at a distance of 16 mm. So from this slant is 16 mm. Okay. Next is, the next portion is, this one is over 16 mm. Okay. Now, okay. Now we have to draw this slant portion. Now the slant portion height from this base is, it is at a distance of 40 mm. So we will mark this 40 mm distance on this vertical wall. So from this vertical wall, it is at a distance of 40 mm. It is at a distance of 40 mm. So here, okay. So here we have already located this point here. So we have already located this point. This is the point. Okay. Now this, and the distance of this point from this edge, distance of the distance of this point, distance of this point from this edge, This is 70 mm. So we will measure it. We will measure this distance from this edge. It is at a distance of 70 mm. That means it is up to this point. It is up to this point. So if we mark it up to 70 mm. So this point. Okay, up to this point. Now we will connect these 2 points. Now we will connect these 2 points. Now we will connect these 2 points. This one and this. Okay, so we have connected these 2 points. So now our front view is ready but not completed. Our front view is ready but not completed. Why? Now we have to show the internal features. So in this structure there is an internal slot is there that cannot be seen from in the front view. When we are looking from the front, this internal feature cannot be seen. So as this internal portion cannot be seen, we have to show this internal feature with the help of a dashed line. So this is at a height of, this feature is at a height of 12 mm from this base. So we will measure 12 mm from the base. We will measure 12 mm from the base. Okay, now we will locate the point. So this is the point. Okay, now so we will draw a line. Now we will draw a line as it is a through hole, so we will draw this line. Okay, now as it is the internal feature, so obviously it will be shown with the help of dash line. So we will convert it into a dash line. So to make the dash line, what we can do, we will make it a dash line. Okay, in this way we'll make it as a dash line. Okay, so now it's ready. Okay, so our, so this is the mm, front view of this object. So the front view is ready. Now we have to draw its top view. Okay, now to draw the top view, now to draw the top view, we will project each of the points on the horizontal plane. This is the horizontal plane. Now we will project all the points on this horizontal plane. So we will project all the points in the horizontal plane. So we will project all these points in the horizontal plane. Okay, so we have projected all the points on the horizontal plane. Now we will draw the top view. Now look at the object. This object, so when we look from the top, which portions we can see? When we look from the top, we can see this portion, right? We can see these portions. We can see these portions and this portion, this portion. Okay, we are able to see this part. Okay, and this part and this edge. These are the portions we are able to see on when we will look from the top. So now if we draw it, so what is the total dimension over here? The total dimension is 64. So total dimension is given as, this depth is given as 64. So on this point it will be at a distance of 64. That means 64, so up to this point. Okay, completed. Now when we look from the top, we are able to see these three portions. Okay, so what are the values? From this edge it is 16 mm. Obviously that means from this edge also it will be 16 mm. So from this edge it will be at a distance of 16 mm, 1 6. So from this edge it will be at a distance of 16 mm. So it will be at a distance of 16 mm, that means up to this point. Okay, from this edge it is at a distance of 16 mm, and then from this edge also it is at a distance of 16 mm. So from this edge also it is at a distance of 16 mm. Okay. Now when we look from the top, we will get only the projected view of this slant edge. Okay, so when we look from the top, we will get only the uh, slant edge, or only the projected view of this slant edge. So how we can draw it? This is the slant edge. So the point, this is the projection of the point, one point of the slant edge. This is the projection of, this is the another point of the slant edge. So if we draw the projection of these, both these points, we will get the projection. Now um, now this slant edge is 12 mm, its width is 12 mm. That means if we draw a center line that will pass through the mid portion of this total width, then we can draw this slant edge. So to draw the slant edge, what we'll do, we will take the midpoint, we will find out the midpoint. The total dimension is 64. That means the midpoint will be at a distance of 64 by 2. So it will be at a distance of um, so it will be at a distance 32. So from this top we will find out 32 mm. So from this top edge we'll find out 32 mm, 32. So this is 3 2, this is 32. Okay, so let this is the midpoint, middle portion. So as it is the middle portion, so now we can draw this 12 mm slant edge. So to draw the 12 mm slant edge, what we will do, so that means it will be 6 mm in this side, and in this side it will be 6 mm, and in this side it will be 6 mm. Okay, then only it will become 12 mm. Okay, so this one will be 6 mm. Okay, and okay, so from this point we will draw a line. From this point we will draw another line, then it will become 12 mm. Okay, now this total portion is 12 mm. Okay, okay, next portion is what are the other portions that can be seen? Okay, so whatever the portions can be seen we have drawn. Now we have to find out which portion cannot be seen. Okay, now this lower part, again this slot cannot be seen when we are looking from the top. So as this portion cannot be seen, now we have to, as this portion cannot be seen, but we have to draw this part. Now if you look into the picture, then here the slot is at an angle of 60 degree. Okay, and these two points, this point and this point, these 2 points are apart at a distance of 30 mm. So we can do one thing. When we look from the top, we will get the hidden lines of this slot, of these 2 points, as well as of these 2 points also. Okay, so what we'll do, at first on the top view we will draw these 2 points because we know this distance. So at first we will draw these 2 points. Okay, clear? So at first we will draw these 2 points. So to draw the 2 points, at first we will measure this distance is 30 mm. Total distance is 30 mm. That means from this midpoint, in this distance, in this side it will be 15 mm, and in this side it will be 15 mm. Okay, so the total is 30 mm. So um, okay, it will like this. Okay, so this one will be 15 mm, and here this one is 15. Okay, completed. Now, so this is the portion that we can see from the top. Now we have to make this line as a hidden line, as we cannot see this line. So we will make this line as a hidden line. So we will make this line as a hidden line. Okay, this way we'll make this portion as a hidden line. Okay, now okay, completed. So this is, although this is not the complete view of um, the it is not the complete view of the top view. Okay, but it is 90% completed. Only 1%, only 10% is left. That is, we need to we need to draw the hidden lines for this line, for this portion also. Okay, okay, so we will do it later. Now before that, now we will draw the side view. Achha, before drawing the side view, now we will make the outlines with the help of a HB pencil, so that it can be easy, it can be clearly visible. So we will make the outlines. These thick lines will be drawn with the help of HB pencil. Okay, there is another portion over here that will be thicken this part. Okay, now it is completed. Yeah, now it is completed. Okay, another part is this part. Okay, now it is completed. Similarly, we will make the outlines with the help, we will draw the outlines with the help of HB pencil in the front view. So in the front view, we'll draw it. We'll make the outline thick. Okay, we will make these lines thick. Okay, so this is front view. This one is the top view. Okay, now in this, when we will draw the side view, we will, in this case, in this drawing or for this object, we will draw the right hand side view. As if we draw the right hand side view, we are able to see these features. Okay, if we draw the left hand side view, then this feature will become a hidden portion. But I want that when we will when we will draw the side view, most of the features should be visible. So when we look from the right hand side, we are able to see this feature. So we will, in this case, we will draw the right hand side. Okay. So to draw the side views, we will use our conventional method of drawing. That is, at first we will draw the reference line. So at first we will draw the reference line. Okay. Next, now we will project all these points, and we will project all these points in the left profile plane, as the orthographic projection is the first angle projection. So we will get the right hand side view of the object in the left profile plane. So we will project all these points in the left profile plane. Okay, so we will project all these points in the left profile. Similarly, here also we will project all these points on this reference line. Okay, another portions are this. Okay, now now what we'll do, now we will project all these projection lines at an angle of 45 degree. So we will take help of the 45 degrees set square. So we'll take help of a 45-degree set square. Okay. So okay. Now we will project all these points. Project all these points. In this way, we will project all these points in the LPP with the help of a 45-degree set square. Okay. So we have drawn all the lines. Now we will draw the vertical lines. Now we will draw all the vertical lines from these points. Now we will draw all the vertical lines from this point. Okay. Okay. So all the vertical lines we will draw in this way. Okay. Now, now we have to locate all these points. Now we have to locate all these points in this side. So how we can find it? So say this one, this projection line is for this one. For this portion, this is the projection line. So this portion is coming on the top view at this part. Okay, so we can say that this point, the projection of this point is this one. Okay, and in the in the front view, the position of this point is this one. Okay, in the front view, the position of this point, these 2 points are these 2 points in the front view. Okay, so its positions, the position of these 2 points will come over here, will come at this point. Okay, before drawing this portion, at first we will draw this part, these two lines. We will draw these two lines, then it will be easier for you. So at first we will mark these two portions, means this line and this line. These two lines we will mark. Okay, so these two lines, this one and this one. So this is the projection line. So this is one point, this one is one point, and this is another projection line. So this one will be another point. That means from this point to this portion. Okay, so from this portion to this portion to this portion to this portion. Okay, next portion is, now we will draw this part, means we will draw this portion and this portion in the side view. So if when we look from the side, what type of view we will get? We can see is this edge, we can see this edge and this edge and this edge. That means when we will look from the side view or from the right hand side, we can see only this face, this face, this part, this part. Okay, these are the portions we can only see when we look from this side, from the right hand side. Okay, so we will, okay, now, so we will draw now this two slant portions. So these slant portions will be this is the point, this edge, these 2 points are these 2 points. That means with this point, this one will be connected. Okay, similarly with this point, this one will be connected. Okay, it is over. Next portion is, now we will draw these vertical lines. So from where we will get these vertical lines? These are the vertical lines up to this point. So we will draw the vertical lines from this point. It will be up to this point. From this point, it will be up to this point. Okay, next we will draw this part, this part. So this part means this portion, this portion. So this is the projection line. So this portion will be drawn in this way. Okay, and then this vertical line, then here is also another vertical line. Okay, next step. So now there is another part, this part, this portion. So we have to look at this portion. So in both the figures, this portion is shown with the help of dashed lines. So this is the dashed line of this portion. Similarly here also the dashed line of this portion. So we can easily mark that portion. So that portion will be mm, somewhere here. So from this point to this point. Okay. Now the next thing is from this point, from this point is at an angle of 60 degree. Okay, now we can take the help of a protector, or you can take a help of a set square, which is 30 degree 60 degree set square if you have. So you can take the help of a set square and you can measure 60 degree angle, but here I am using the protector to measure 60 degree angle. So this one is 60 degree angle. Okay, now it will pass through, it should pass through this point, right? It should pass through this point. That means this angle should be 60 degree. So now we can draw from this point, we can draw a line. Okay, similarly we can measure 60 degree in this side also. So it will be from this point. So from this point, okay, okay, now we will connect this end point and this end point and this end point and this end. Okay, now another portion is left, that is this slant portion. So the slant portion is, this is the projection line of the slant portion. So this is the top of the part, means this portion of the slant portion we can see. This one is the top portion of the slant portion, and then there is the lower part. So the lower part we will get over here. So now we will connect these points. Okay, so we have got the side view. Okay, so this one is the side view, this is the front view, and this is the top view. Now another thing is left still, that is we have shown the hidden portion of these 2 points on this top view, but we have not shown the hidden portion of these 2 points. So now we have to show that. So to do that, what we'll do, we will project the point the same manner, just we are doing it in the reverse way. Now we will project these 2 points. Okay, then we will take the set square, and again we will take the 45 degree angle. We'll take the 45 degree angle. Here also we will take the 45 degree angle. Then we will draw the horizontal line from this point. Then we will draw horizontal line from these points. Okay. Similarly, we will draw horizontal line here also. Okay. Now we will make this portion as hidden portion. Okay. So now this is the complete picture of the drawing. This is the complete picture of the drawing. Okay. Let me erase these portions. Okay. So this is the complete picture of the part. Okay. So okay. Now the last step is, now we have to put the dimensions in these views, the front view, top view and side views. Now if we put any dimension in the front view, then no need to put the same dimension or no need to show that same dimension on the top view. Okay. So, and always remember, we will show the dimensions of the true shape only, we will not show the dimensions of the projected shape. Okay. So like this one, this width is given as 64, it is given as 64 mm. So now this true shape we will get when we will look from this right hand side. So we will show this dimension in the right hand side only. Okay. So here the space are little bit less, so but I am trying to manage this space. So this space is 64 from this point to this point. So from this point to this point, this dimension will be 64 mm. This dimension is 64 mm. This dimension is 64 mm. Okay, this dimension is 64 mm. So I'm using a unidirectional method of dimensioning. So I'm writing the dimensions. So it is 64. Okay. So now the next dimension is Next dimension is this one. This one is 30 mm. So above the 64 mm, we will write the 30 mm dimension. As already there is a projection lines are available, so we are not using any extension line. So this, from this point to this point, it is 30 mm. So from this point to this point, this is 30 mm. Okay, so from this point to this point, it is, it will be 30 mm. Okay, so next dimension is, next is this part. Now this portion can be seen in the true shape of this portion can be seen in the front view only. So we will show this dimension in the front view only. So in the front view, this dimension is 70 mm. From this point to this point, this dimension is 70 mm, and this total dimension is given as 100 mm. Okay, so from this point to this point, it is 100 mm. It will be 100 mm, and from this point to this point, it will be 70 mm. Okay, so if you put the dimensions, okay, and over here we will draw the arrowheads. Here also we will draw the arrowheads. So this one will be 100, this one will be 70. Okay, so this dimension is over. Next dimension is, this is 100 and this is 70, and the next part is these dimensions. So this portion is 40 mm. This height is 40 mm, but this 40 mm height can be seen when we look from the side. Even this 75 mm also can be seen when we look from the side. Okay, so these dimensions cannot be seen in the front view. Okay, what are the other dimensions can be seen in the front view? These dimensions. Even this dimension can be seen in the top view also. Okay, so let we give the dimension in the top view. So in the top view we can see these dimensions, this 15 mm. So we can show this dimension over here. So we can show the dimension over here that it is 15 mm. So this dimension is, from this point to this point, it is 15 mm. This dimension is 15 mm. as the space is less, so we are showing the dimension from the outside. So as the space is less, so we are showing the dimension on the outside, and the internal space will be blank, and we will put the dimension here. It is given as 15 mm. So it is given as 1 by 15 mm. Okay, this dimension is over. Okay. This 20 mm dimension can also be seen in the top view. So we will show this 20 mm dimension in the top view. So to show the 20 mm dimension, we will use um, an extension line. We'll use an extension line. Okay, and then the dimension line, and we will write the dimension okay, so the dimension is 12 mm. Okay, so this dimension is completed. Okay, the next part, is there any dimensions left on this top view? Okay, so there is no dimensions are left on the top. Actually, the 70 mm dimension, we should show the 70 mm dimension on this top view. Okay, instead of the front view. So it will be better if we show the 70 mm dimension on the top view. So we will show the 70 mm dimension on the top. That is better. Okay. So now we will show the 70 mm dimension on this top view. So to show that dimension, we can show it in this way. Okay. So this dimension is completed. The next portion, next part is now we will put the dimensions on this uh, on the side views. So in the side views, what are the dimensions we will put? Um, one dimension is 40, 75, 16. Okay, 40, 75, 16, and this 16. Okay, all these dimensions we will put. So at first we are putting the dimension of 12 and 22. So 12 and 22. So this dimension is 12. This one is the total dimension is 22. Next is and this one is from this point to this point. It is this is 40, dimension is 16, and this one is, this total dimension is 75. Okay, another portion is this upper part, and this upper part okay, this portion is 16. Okay, these are of the all dimensions. Now we will write all these dimensions. So to write the dimensions, it is 12. The dimension is 12. This dimension is 12. Okay, the next dimension is this one. This one, this, this dimension is, it is 22. The next is this dimension, and this one is, this one is 40. 14. This dimension is 75 mm. Okay, next is from this point to this point, it is from this point to this point, this point to this point, it is, this dimension is given as 16. So this point to this point, it is 16 mm. Okay, and here also from this point to this point, it is 16. Okay, these are the all dimensions. Okay, another dimension is left, that is this angle. So we have to show this angle also. This angle is given as 60 degree. This angle is given as 60-degree angle. So we will show this angle. This angle is given as 60. Okay, so that's all. So this is the final view of the structure. This is the final view of the structure. Okay, so thank you.